Hey resellers, welcome back to Lava City Threads. I'm Alveraz. In today's video, we're going to go over some recently sourced items that I picked up over the last week or two, and hopefully you'll be able to find some brands that maybe you're unaware of. But this is going to be a lot of bread and butter stuff, so there'll be a lot of stuff that you are picking up, so you'll be able to see how I price them. But we'll also have a few new brands to me that I wasn't aware of. You might be. And let's just go ahead and jump right in. These are some sloggers. These are some waterproof rain shoes. I will list lighter rain and wind type items all year long. And the sell-through rate wasn't that terrible. And these are women's size 6, and they have animal prints on them. Anytime I find animal print type items, I like to take a second look. Anyway, these are pretty cute. Next up, we have a Lilly Pulitzer sweater. Always take a look at Lilly Pulitzer. If you're not aware of them, now you know. Here's the tag here. Most of you are probably very aware of Lilly Pulitzer. This is an extra small. I don't find it that much in the wild, but when I do, I always take an extra look. I'm a sucker for Argyle, so here we go. That's listed for $34.97, and I have a coupon going right now for 5% off. So usually Lilly Pulitzer for me, I get rid of pretty quickly, usually within 30 days or so, and I usually get asking or pretty close to it. Next up, we have Nike Pro leggings. I was just talking about this in the last video of what sold last week. Be sure to subscribe and check that one out. It's a pretty good one. And I pick up a ton of Nike Pro leggings. It's kind of a weird thing, but I sell these things like hotcakes. So, and they're always out there in the wild. So make sure you're looking for these, especially the kind of the capri ones. I think these ones are cropped too. But anyway, if you can get the small, let's see. Yeah, so if you can get ones about this size here, not medium, but I mean as far as capri goes in Nike, usually just the simple colors, the blacks seem to work pretty well for me. But you know, I think they do have a few multicolors that have like some spell outs on the front and stuff. Pick them up, really bread and butter for me. Get rid of them pretty quick, and they work. Next up, we have some Hawx composite toe work boots. They're not in the greatest condition here, but I pick these up all the time and they do really well for me. Not Hawx necessarily, but work boots, especially if they're leather, especially if they're in just decent condition. The soles here were pretty good. Hawx is a great brand, so these should do pretty well for me. And I don't pick up Hawx necessarily that much in work boots. I pick them up in a few different other styles though, but these should do well. I discounted them pretty good here, and they are a men's size 11, so pretty good size. Safety footwear, so composite toe, steel toe, you're always looking for that. At least look them up. Give it a look next time you come across some. Listed them for $34.97, coupon 33. I'm probably getting the high 20s for that. Next up, pretty bread and butter, I guess. I find free people pretty frequently. I'm trying to be a little bit more careful with it because I'm not selling it as fast as I used to. This is a Henley top though. I really like that kind of boho peasant look, and had some thumb holes on it. And you know, the Henleys do pretty well for me. So especially like in free people, probably like any kind of tunic, make sure you're taking an extra look at. You know what doesn't do that great for me in free people is some of the sweaters. How about you? Let me know in the comments how you do with sweaters. But free people, listed it for $36.97. I'll probably get in the high 20s here for that. So here's an interesting one, Merrell's. If you don't know, Merrell's usually I sell in hiking, but I also pick up these Merrell kind of beat up leather pieces, a lot of those, and they still do well for me. And these ones, I wanted to show you guys these ones because they're pretty cooked. They're not in great condition. Look at that. That's kind of a mess. So the insides are all jacked up, but I'm getting engagement on this. I've already gotten a couple offers on this. Don't pass up on Merrell's even in leather. Especially obviously if you find Merrell's out there in hiking shoes, take an extra look them up. But these are listed for $32. I'll probably get somewhere around $25 here. Here's another free people, but this is the FP Beach line, and this is a maxi dress. The pictures don't really do it justice, but this was like a really beautiful, strong, I thought it was organic cotton. I think it just said cotton on there, but it had that kind of really thick, nice feel to it. But a really pretty white, especially if you can get a nice white maxi, as you probably know. Very hard to find without stains, and this one didn't have any really great condition. So I jacked the price up on this one to $53. I'm assuming I'll probably get in the high 40s for this, maybe even asking. Next is some Jeffrey Campbell snake leather tall boots. I put rare on this because I searched high and low for these and I could not find them. Jeffrey Campbell's always worth a second look. Really good comps on these. I don't think the sell-through was anything amazing, but I'm willing to sit on this. So if you have the inventory space, you can do that as well. These ones had those D-ring buckles on the back and kind of had that Western vibe going. So I've already got a few offers on this. 5% off, $83.97. Hopefully I'm getting in the high 70s on that. Keep an eye out for Jeffrey Campbell. Next up, Nike, of course. And this one I picked up at, where was I? It was a yard sale. And it was out of town on a little trip that I made. And she had these in a box, and they're in really new condition, but the box was pretty beat up, but I still added the box here. We'll see what I get. The comps were pretty good. Sell-through rate wasn't amazing on this particular style, but it looks like I'll probably get in the low 70s or high 60s on this one, but keep an eye out for these. These are the Huarache. I didn't see a ton of them listed either, so in this particular style and colorway. Oh, this was new to me. This is Bjorn Dale, I don't know how to pronounce it, pants. So I picked these up because I thought they were like running leggings, you know, or like gym leggings or whatever, but it turned out they were cross-country ski leggings. So that made them even more interesting. So I probably should have held on to these until August or September to go ahead and list for the winter months when everybody's out skiing, but I didn't know any better. And I popped them up, and or I had already taken the pictures, and then when I got to listing, found out that they were a little bit more Nordic skiing, and so here they are. We shall see. So I will probably take an offer on these pretty low since we're burning up right now in July. So I'm assuming, I don't know, maybe high 30s or whatever, but keep an eye out for this brand because the sell-through was pretty good and the prices were pretty high on a lot of these comps. So I don't think there was there was a little blemish or something here, like a little cut there, but there's the tag you're looking for there. Next up's a little interesting one. So I sell clothing and shoes, but I will grab smaller bags or even hats if I can fit them inside my 30 by 10 by 10 boxes stored in my inventory. If I can fit them, file them in a poly mailer. So I ran across this Pendleton, and of course Pendleton and wool, if it's wool, I'll take a double look on most Pendleton if it's wool. A lot of their Pendleton cotton brands, like cotton shirts and stuff like that, I don't do very well with, but something like this was, you know, I had to pick this up and check it up. And it's also a little bit beat up, but that kind of gave it some character. I don't know, I really enjoyed this one. I thought it was a really cool piece. And I've already gotten a few offers on it, but I'm going to hold off on this. I'm not going to take offers on this one because I think I've already got it at a pretty good price here at $29. Oh, you can see a few comps here of some similar items, similar Pendleton. So I'm right in the right ballpark. So I'm going to hold off, even though those don't look as beat up as mine. We shall see what happens. And here's some LL Bean rubber mocks. These are the duck boots, the waterproof ones. And like I said earlier, so rain jackets, windbreakers, smaller rain shoes. Like I have the taller rain, more durable duck ones on hold right now for the fall. I have a mountain of fall and winter that I periodically pick up during the spring and summer. That's when I'm sourcing for that stuff because I'm getting it at a discount. But I will start putting in these types of shoes pretty much, well, I'm not going to say start. I put them in all year, frankly, and I do pretty well with them. So I should probably get in the high 20s here for this one. You can tell usually on these ones right away what they are because it'll say right on them there. But the LL Bean duck boots are always pretty cool, pretty bread and butter. I'm in Central Oregon, so we have that kind of weather out here, so we get these a lot, or I pick them up a lot. This was a new brand to me, Janji Transit Tech Pants. These are a running jogger. Look these up. And here's the label you're looking for here, Janji, because I'm not sure if this is an old label. If you guys recognize this, brand, let me know. Because I had never seen it before, but it had a killer sell-through rate and the prices were really high, and it looks like these things are moving. So if you're finding John G out there in the wild, be sure to look it up. This is another brand that I was unfamiliar with, Doppelganger, but during the spring and summer, I'm looking for a lot of linen. So this was had a really nice tactile feel to it when I was digging. And I think I did get these at a local bins. It's not a Goodwill bins, it's a different thrift store bins. And the tactile process got me on this one. So it was linen, pulled it out, thought it was interesting. I like the tag. I was kind of like, that's got a little bit of an anthro vibe to it. I don't know, maybe. But it's not, but it's still a cool piece. The sell-through rate wasn't great, but the comps were pretty nice. And I like the color too, kind of a nice wine color. In fact, that's what came up when I was looking up the titles. Next up, we went from cool looking to just awful. Okay, unless you're into this, I'm sorry. Extreme Couture. Anytime you find these t-shirts, you can't miss them. I run across them a couple times a quarter. The Couture, Extreme Couture, this is a Randy Couture one. Old Y2K silliness. Take an extra look at these though, they still pop. And this one listed for $32.97 with the other comps, so it should do pretty well. I think I'll probably get in the high 20s for this though. If I remember right, the last time I sold one of these, I got an offer for, I'll take offers if they're like 20 cents, 20%, 20% or better. That's kind of my range where I stick to in my offers. Keep an eye out for True Spec. I'm actually even starting to do a little bit better with True Spec right now, especially these M65s when you can find them. And this one had a really cool belt with it, and it was in really good condition. So I jacked up the price a little bit on these ones, but when you can find these M65 camos out there, make sure you're looking them up. Here's a tag you'll find, and it'll give you a little bit more information on it, on the tag. Keep an eye out for those. And I sell those, by the way, I sell those pretty much all year. Usually I will throw, like I have a bunch of these True Specs jackets and bottoms, trousers in camo for fall and winter. But these ones I just threw in there because I'm able to get rid of them pretty much all year. Speaking of bread and butter, 511 Tacticals. They're style dependent. Some styles do better than others, but I'm picking up a lot of 511s lately. I don't know what's going on, but I mean, I must have picked up 6 or 7 just in the last 2 months or so. And I'm picking up some of the better styles too. Let me know in the comments if you've been finding a lot of 511s too, but they've pretty much been bread and butter for me for a couple years now. These are the Tactical Strike ones, Battle Brown, Flex Tack, Ripstop, cargo pants. They got all the bells and whistles on them. Here's the tag you're looking for. Make sure you're popping in the code. Look at that fingernail. Oof, I won't make you look at that anymore. Gosh, this is what I'm going to find out when I go into my statistics where everybody dropped out of this video. It'll be right there. Okay, I listed that for 43 bucks. I don't know. I guess high 30s I'll probably get for that. No, I should probably get asking on that, actually, because I did get some action on that already over on, I think it was Depop. Sims, you can never go wrong with Sims, so anytime you find Sims, pick it up. This one's not even in great condition. This is just a standard old pullover. I reduced it a little bit because it is kind of old and funky, but, you know, there was no, like, noticeable stains or snags or anything like that. So, Sims brand, really good fishing brand. You can pretty much get rid of it all year long. This was kind of at a deeper discount at 24 or 25 bucks. I'll definitely should get rid of this. I would say within the next month for asking. Okay, so equestrian boots, riding boots. I'm in Central Oregon. We have lots of farms, lots of riding areas, lots of trails, that kind of stuff. But keep an eye out for these. They're not necessarily brand dependent either. I mean, I've picked up unbranded equestrian riding boots. I've picked up all kinds of different ones. These ones are from the company called Dublin. Here's what you're looking for. And these are regular calves, and they have different types of Dublins, like regular calves, like slim, and different styles. But if you find Dublin out there, I don't find this one often at all, so you might not be finding it. I don't know. I found Dublin, I think last year was the last time I found some. But I do find a lot of riding boots, equestrian. So anytime you get them, look them up. These things pop. I sold a pair of equestrian riding boots, I would say 2 quarters ago, and I got almost $200 for them. So definitely look those up anytime you see them. And okay, so I don't sell much American Eagle anymore. You guys really shouldn't be doing it either, especially the slim fit American Eagle stuff. It's just becoming harder to sell. That's all for me. But the baggy stuff and these barrel legs and these wide bottoms, even if they're chewed up a little bit down here, they pop for me. They still sell really well, and I'm still getting $30 plus for each pair, and they go pretty quick. So you can see them down here too in some of the similar items, kind of those bigger, wider leg cargo ones. So make sure you're double checking on those, even if they are American Eagle. Here's some Double H cowboy boots. Like I said, Central Oregon. I pick up cowboy boots all the time. And by the way, I didn't mention this yet, but I probably should have at the top of this video. My average cost of goods is $2. So all of these items that I'm talking about so far and will talk about, they're very cog dependent based on your business model. So make sure you're making a strong profit. You're going to see me selling some of this stuff at $20, $25, but that's only because I'm picking them up for $2. If these were $5 to $8, I'm not picking them up. Okay, that's just a really important point to make, because my floor for profit is $15. That's my floor. Like, I don't want to walk away with anything less than $15 per item. And hopefully I think my average profit right now is right around $24, $25. I'm trying to get that closer to 30 as I expand and as I move into going back to full-time. I'm a part-time reseller right now. I was a full-time reseller, and now I'm about to go back into being a full-time reseller. I'm listing 30 items a day right now, and when I go full-time again, I'm going to jack that up to 50 items a day, but hopefully not at the cost of my health the way that it did the first time I was a full-time reseller. Back then I was doing that kind of 12 to 14 hour day stuff. Now I'm down to 3 to 5 hours a day, and then I'm going to split the difference there and be right around 6 to 8 hours a day here shortly. And I'll be talking about that in upcoming videos and kind of showing you guys a little bit more of the process that I do in order to make my systems a little bit more efficient, so I don't have to bust my ass and kill myself every day. So be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Next up, vintage George Lawrence cartridge belt. This one's kind of interesting. You can this was a vintage piece, and I just looked it up pretty quickly. This was at a storage unit sale. And it was a lady who was getting rid of all of her husband's hunting stuff, and this was something that was in there, and I thought it was just a really cool piece, and it turned out that it was a pretty cool piece. And again, if I could fit it into a poly mailer and stick it in there with the rest of my clothes, I'm going for it. And this one I'm listed for $58.97. We shall see how we do. You can see, I guess, a couple. Here's a one here, a shotgun belt. He's selling his for $68. His looks a little bit more vintage than mine, but we shall see how that does. Keep an eye out for interesting leather belts, especially if they're like snakeskin or like crocodile, or they have some kind of interesting pattern on them. Plain leather belts, be careful with those unless you have the right brand. Next up, we have some Corso Como riding boots. I don't know, I just thought these were pretty, and I looked them up, and the sell-through rate wasn't awesome, but the prices were. So these $40. We shall see how they do. I think that's all the information I got on this one here, but you know what? That's kind of weird right here, but that's like a little jewel. They stuck like a little sparkly jewel in the in the sole, and I thought that was kind of cool. Are you familiar with this brand? If you are, be sure to let me know. Next up, we have some Chinook Workhorse Romeos. These are brown leather, 10.5. I like the size. Again, these are a little beat up like the earlier work boots I showed you, but if you can get these kind of thick, chunky leather boots, always take an extra look. Doesn't matter what the brand is. And Chinook is an okay brand. It sells okay. And I will get close to asking for these. Next up, scrubs. Yeah, if you guys watch me, I sell a lot of scrubs, and I only sell about 3 or 4 different brands. Grey's Anatomy is one of them. I still sell these. They still go pretty quick for me. The bonus here is if you can find a top and bottoms that go together, because then you can sell them as a set. And this one even has a bleach stain on it right there, which make sure that if you have any flaws or any stains or anything on your items, make sure you're pointing them out. And let's see, is there a tag here for you guys? There you go. That's what you guys are looking for. They sell pretty well. They sit for a little while. Grey's doesn't sell fast, Grey's Anatomy, but they do sell. Interesting side note about Grey's Anatomy, which just popped into my head. I used to be an actor. I had a guest star appearance on Grey's Anatomy. I'll leave it up to you to try to find that episode and find me in it. I played a father who had a daughter. Oh, well, okay, I remember what I was. I was a father of a daughter who was a patient in the hospital, and I played the father, but I was a malpractice attorney. And so I end up like threatening the hospital to sue the hospital and so forth. And my daughter eventually talks me out of it, and all is well in the end. But yeah, you can find me on that show. I know I don't really talk about my past lives on here, but I don't know. I'll open up to you guys. Why not? Okay, next up. This was kind of interesting. It's a cover band shirt. Obviously, I recognized it right away as Weezer, and then I was like, those are Cheez-Its. So Weezer, Cheez-It cover band. The band, I think, the cover band is called, I think it's, is it Cheez-It? No, maybe they're Weez-It. I don't know. I don't remember. I just thought it was a cool shirt. And interestingly enough, I'm getting a lot of action on it. So it's getting a lot of views and likes and whatnot. So anyway, kind of cool. Anytime you find band shirts, just take an extra look at them. It only takes you a second. And you're really looking for the more vintage stuff. But if you could find something kind of unique about it, this one I know is just a cover band. But if you're a Weezer fan, you can't really tell. You just know this Weezer logo is made out of Cheez-Its. And that's kind of interesting. Next up, we have some Wranglers. I don't pick up a ton of Wranglers. I'll pick up like the MWZs. And there's one other vintage style that I like. But these are the Rock 47s. And if I can find them and they have something interesting going on, like this here, this has kind of this cow pattern here. Is that kind of a cow pattern? Yeah, cow print. And they're rise and flare. Okay, so if you find the flares, I'm going to take an extra look. And let's see. I want to give you guys at least some kind of tag. There you go. That's what you're looking for here. Rock 47 ultra low rise. I find the high rise stuff to sell better now. Not necessarily in Wrangler, but in jeans in general. But with Wranglers, you just got to find that kind of unique thing. And you should be able to get rid of them at a pretty good pace. Well, sometimes. Actually, my MWZs do kind of sit around for a little while. I wonder if they do for you guys too. They sit around for a little while, but I do get a good, I find good comps on them, and I usually do pretty well. I usually grab around 25 to 30 bucks on those. But these are the Rock 47, sorry. lost my train of mind there. Okay, so weird. I don't pick up Zara. I just don't. Some of you guys might. I'm getting better at my women's wear, though. I'm trying to improve and to go after more style-based stuff. I only got into women's wear maybe like a year ago. So I'm still learning on the women's front, and I've been kind of very brand-based, like that Lily Pulitzer earlier, and just grabbing stuff that I know for sure that I can get rid of, that I can sell as fast as possible for a decent price. But I'm starting to get a little bit more familiar with, okay, but what about style? So Zara isn't one of those big sellers, right? But a lot of you guys sell Zara based on different styles that you get. So I'm trying to open up for that. This particular one, I couldn't find many of these kind of button-up, chore pocket front Zara jeans. So I took a shot on them. Maybe you guys can let me know how you think I'll do on these. But these had the raw hem. They had the chore pockets on them. It was a larger size at a 14. I had a 14. So let's see how I do. Fingers crossed. Another pair of those 511s I was talking about earlier. These ones are the Tac-Lite PDUs. They had unhemmed. They were unhemmed, so you can go get these done. So these, these type of ones, these ones here, this particular style, I'll sell to like SWAT guys, police guys, even some military guys. But these go pretty well. Make sure you're looking out for the right styles of 511s. Dark Seas. Do you guys know about these? I picked one up last year. Just a regular old Dark Seas t-shirt, and it went, and people sell these pretty fast. Not for great prices. I've got mine jacked up actually to $28.97. I'll probably get about $20 for it, but I picked one up last year, but I think I picked up a few over the last like 3 years. I just don't remember exactly when offhand, but they always went pretty fast and right around $20 or so. So anyway, check out Dark Seas if you do see it. I don't know if I have a label here. Yeah, that's the label there. So I remember I picked up a button up, like a camp shirt. And it was like, I think it was just a plaid, boring Dark Sea shirt. But it went pretty fast. And I think I got like $20-25 on it. Anytime you're seeing shirts that have this kind of sketchy looking front here, this similar kind of graphic pattern, make sure you're double checking it, because it could be like a death metal band or grindcore, sludge, rock, all that kind of stuff. These were really big, especially back in like the 90s and Y2K. This was just a lot of a great like grindcore and hardcore bands all over the place. There still are some, but the shirts themselves really pop now. But I didn't know anything about this particular band. This is a band called Boris out of Japan, and they're not really some kind of hardcore metal band or anything, but their shirts sell really well, and this one I couldn't find. So this one's kind of an older one, I think, one of their original graphics. So I thought it was kind of cool. Japanese metal band. I'm not even sure they're metal. I think they're more indie than metal. Anyway, maybe you know Boris. But there they are. There's the back there. Always keep an eye out for these kind of crazy. If you can't really figure out what the band name is on the front, then you might be onto something. So check it out. This one wasn't even labeled, but I threw it up there for 46. We'll see how we do on that. Next up is Bontraga. I don't know. It's a cycling jersey. Again, I'm in Central Oregon, and we've got a lot of nice trails up here, a lot of nice cycling areas. So I do really well with cycling jerseys. This one actually had a pretty good sell-through rate and nice comp, so we'll see how I do on that one. Keep an eye out for that. Here's what you're looking for there. That's a pretty rare one, though, I think, because I haven't even seen this brand before, and I come across a ton of cycling jerseys. Probably Pearl Izumi's the one I come across the most. I grab most vintage Pearl Izumi. I don't grab much of their newer stuff. And the wilder the cycling print, the better for me, has been for me. So all kinds of logos and crap all over it. Go ahead and take an extra look at that. Just make sure on the back you've got something like this. You've got some pouches that are back here. And short sleeve and long sleeve seem to do pretty well. That seems to be irrelevant. But obviously they're a little bit seasonal, right? So as we move toward fall, this long sleeve one should probably do okay for me. So ex officio, it's always been kind of I have a strange relationship with ex officio, because sometimes they do really well for me, and then I get all excited about them and I go start buying them again, and then they just die. So how do you guys do with ex officio? I just found these two. Again, my cost of goods $2, so I didn't mind picking them up, and I had two that were the same size. Anytime I can lot something up that's the same size but like a different colorway, I'm gonna grab them. So this is a lot of two ex officio cargo pants, nylon hiking, cork core, all that good stuff. Just make sure you get all of your sizes in there, front and back. Listed them for $38, because you can get like a single pair will go from like $20 to $25. So I can discount it, throw in two. They should go pretty fast, but again, I don't necessarily trust ex officio as much as I used to. Duofold. This is kind of an interesting one. Keep an eye out for Duofold. Here's the tag you're looking for. These are just like old vintage thermal shirts. Wool blend, that's what they have going for them, and it feels really good. When you feel it, it's got a nice tactile, thick, durable feeling to it. And I just think a lot of guys, a lot of blue collar dudes and guys out hunting and fishing and so forth like to pick these up. Maybe even the kids. I don't know, maybe it's got some retro stuff going for them. Actually, this should be vintage. I don't know why I didn't list vintage up here, but it is, right? Yeah, this is one of the vintage ones. So, but anyway, I should be able to get rid of this. It's a quick flip, and I should be able to get rid of this for 23. I got to remember to go back and put vintage in there, though. Aloe, right? You can't go wrong with aloe. Here's what you're looking for. Aloe here. Much like Lululemon, they do really well. Frankly, if it comes to leggings, I do better with aloe than I do Lulu. Lulu's leggings market has just, it's so saturated now. So be very careful when you're picking up Lulu. Make sure you're getting the right styles of Lulu. If you're picking up Lulu leggings, I kind of stick to kind of the weirder, or not weirder, the different type of Lulu stuff, especially men's Lulu. If I find men's Lulu like hoodies or shirts or you know, different things in Lulu that are men's, I'll usually grab that. But I'm slowing down on picking up just Lulu in general in women, especially the leggings. I don't pick up much of those anymore. But like I said, my average cost of good is $2, so what the heck. Anyway, if you've enjoyed the video so far, please subscribe and like this, and I will be back in a week with a What's Sold video. Thank you so much for hanging out. Ciao for now.